My heart's really pumping now!
Hakai! Yeah!
Goku, thank you for your help earlier. Gentlemen, it's been too long since our last visit.
If I let myself get fired up, I'll burn my enemy before the match begins. All right, everyone! I need you to lend all the energy you can spare! Let's go! All right then, guess I have no choice.
I found you at last! An opponent who I can have a battle with, using my entire body and soul!
Well, if it's a fight you want, then let's do this, old man, right here and now!
Oh my, this is incredible! It seems that during all this time you have gotten much stronger.
This next one's all mine! I'm ready to knock those miserable lowlifes down a few pegs!
I really should have imagined that you would be able to raise your own entities more and more.
You are ours.
I am immortal!
Who says he's going to win? But while you've been hanging out in the library and going out on dates, I've been doing nothing but severe training the entire time.
Vegeta, my apologies. It seems I overdid it a bit.
Finally, I, Frieza Hakai, am here!
Show your power by devastating this universe.
Damn it! Right now, another attack! Frieza, you damn thing! You allied yourself with them!
Take this, you miserable, mediocre Saiyan!
Damn you! What is this?
Control your anger. You are the strongest.
Thank you, King Sadama. You will pay, Frieza!
I'll make you have control of your power, boy. For good or for evil!
We'll see. Coming! Interesting. bitches! Let me go!
You are ours, Son Goku.
Let him go, Hakai.
As you wish.
Damn it! What happened here? What caused this destruction? You're all weak! Miserable! Hurry up! I need to be faster than Ultra Instinct. I got you very well. All of you Saiyans are a disgrace! What? My mask! Wait, this vision of the future. It's not possible. What kind of power is this? It's even greater than that of some gods! That's impossible! Damn! I'm weak! I lost too much energy against the army of the Mother of Angels! This is your end, Son Goku! Wait! What is this? Hey, you won! Leave Kakarot where he is! You will be my opponent! The Great Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans!
I am the strongest in the universe!
Wait, what?
I am Vegeta, Prince of the Saiyans!
Damn you!
Kakarot!
Why did you do that?
Oh, Goku, you still don't get it. We did this for the good of the multiverse. Your power was becoming a threat, and we needed to make sure you didn't get out of hand.
Damn it! I can't believe this is what is happening to me. I'm sure now is the time to overcome our limits.
And now he appears here and even more daring and comes to challenge us? What does he think he is?
I'll show you what I'm really capable of.
What are you going to do to face all of this? Tell me. I am really curious.
Your power's insane! No! What the heck's going on?
But you really can't do anything to me! I'm gonna show my true power!
You're all weak, insolent worms. Is that all you've got, Vegeta? You rats, you're going to pay. Do you really think your body is unharmed? Die, Vegeta! Wait, what? My body can't take it anymore. It seems you weren't that powerful.
going to do that! Miserable one! Now it's your end! Wait, what is this? Next time, it'll be your end! Everything will be over, Vegeta! This miserable guy managed to escape after everything! What? What monstrous energy is this?
Finally, I, the Mother of Angels, am free! You are our Son Goku.
I won't stay here anymore. I will go back and face the consequences of my actions, whatever they may be. What happened here? This time, the true power will have to be emanated and raised by the Saiyan of Universe 7. This is getting more fun!
That's too bad. I'll start with you.
That's it then. This fight's over. You should probably be getting back, don't you think? But one more thing. Try not to cause too much trouble.
You honestly thought you could stand up to me?
I really want to see what you're capable of once I start fighting in earnest.
I will stop you now! Gohan! Have no choice. It's no use, father. I will end everything and reign over everything. I'm going to stop you! Who are you? Show yourself! You will become much stronger. My power is yours now. You will defeat all gods! What are you doing? Daichikan-san! No! I was waiting for you, Son Gohan. This bastard is very strong! Come on, kid! Unleash your fury!
Get ready for your end, Whis. Take this! Damn you, Beerus!
It looks like you will finally come after Zeno-sama. Are you ready?
I was born ready to fight! Hey, I am Gokui, and the show starts now. This is Absolute Cinema!
Broly finally appears on the battlefield. Finally, the strongest Saiyan appears and prepares for his first battle. Broly had defeated several Doom Cats. The power of the Saiyan who is considered the strongest Saiyan is finally shown. Banzerot is surprised and says, who is this guy? Does that mean then that he is one of those Saiyans who had great power to show? Alright, I think I've heard of a Saiyan like that a long time ago. Does that mean that you have a latent power even greater than Goku's? It will be very interesting to crush you now. This way it will be clear that I am the strongest Saiyan. Goku will spend some time cooling off with Shiva. That is, if he makes it back from the place I sent him. If he comes back, I'll finish him off as soon as I defeat you. At that moment, Broly directly activates his Super Saiyan transformation. Broly watches and speaks. It means that you are this guy who is causing problems here for the warriors of this planet. I've been watching your movements, and I confess that your strength for me is nothing. You look like a harmless dog that won't stop barking, and when you get close to it, it starts to get scared. Let's start. At that moment, Piccolo was lying on the floor. Piccolo says,
Looks like this guy is really strong. I really didn't even have time to show my full power, and this guy managed to defeat me before that. Is this a power of a true Saiyan God? By that outfit, he sure is a god of destruction. I can't imagine what the power level will be. Gohan is fighting this guy. This shape, this hair color, and this skin are totally different. It looks like he's hiding something. I wonder what's going on. Alright, let's go, Gohan. I trust you in this battle. I need to recover.
At that moment, Zaki observes and says, What's going on here? Who is this guy? Did he just show up without us being able to detect his presence? Gohan starts laughing and says, if I were you or if I were Banzerot, I would be scared because he's about to face Broly. He who has already caused great meltdowns in every battle, and his fury is acclaimed even by the god of destruction of our universe. Broly is the strongest Saiyan. Banzerot prepares to move forward and attack Broly. Broly in a few moments remembers his training alongside the Great Priest and Goku. At that moment, Broly starts to smile and says, it seems that thanks to this training, I can now see. I can feel the enemy's next steps for light years. Thank you very much, Goku. Thank you, Great Priest. Now I possess the true mastery of the Force. That moment, Banzerot will attack with a punch approach to the face. Broly, in a few moments, uses the mastery of the Berserker instinct, dodging all the blows that Banzerot tried to hit. Banzerot says, what is that? Impossible. How is he managing to read my movements? This sequence of blows, not even Zaki could get rid of it. What's going on here? Gohan and Piccolo watch and say, what? How is this possible? Did Broly make it this far into the training base? He has this ability. When did you learn that, Broly? Broly starts laughing and says, while I trained with Goku and Daishinkan, I could observe the mastery of Ultra Instinct that Goku was able to follow the movement of angels. But in order to be able to perform this skill, the user's ki must always have a constant calmness, and I knew that my ki would never. It would be something that was part of me. That's why the Great Priest explained to me that I would discover my instinct myself, until the moment I woke up the Berserker instinct. Now I have all the power I need. Let's get started. Alright partner, why don't you whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos and stay well connected to our universe of Z Warriors. Let's get back to the point. Grand Priest Palace. The Great Priestess Hakai continues face to face with Daishinkan, and the two are staring at each other insanely. The two are watching the celestial war that was taking place. Hakai says, looks like Goku and Vegeta are practically out of the game, isn't it, Daishinkan? Now see what your Saiyans are managing to do. Absolutely nothing. Already in Universe 11, it seems that things are even more complicated. At that moment, directly in Universe 11, Margarita was thrown into the rubble of the planet. Toppo was lying on the floor. Belmont had his King and Joker cards torn up. At that moment, Jiren was almost exhausted. Jiren says, how could this happen? What race is this guy? I cannot understand. He looked like he was at a disadvantage, but he was and managed to nullify Belmont's power. From the information I had, this would only be possible if he was hiding the game and can nullify any type of divine ability. He said that he could only destroy the energy of angels, but now for all that was shown, he managed to cancel even the powers of Belmont, the god of destruction. The energy of destruction doesn't work against this guy either. Toppo ended up losing his power. It looks like the burden of this fight will fall on me. Belmont, lying on the ground, watches and says, Jiren, it seems that we did not know this information. Belmont's powers were lost. I lost my powers because he hid it all this time, that any celestial energy he can nullify. I wonder what's behind it. But you are special, Jiren. Your power is different. Now we know that it is not angelic power and not any kind of destruction power either. Perhaps you are the only one in this universe who can win. At that moment, Ziel starts to laugh and says, You've got to be kidding me. Do you think you will really be able to do something here? It's no use. My powers are much higher. My power of destruction is the strongest power there is. You will never be able to do anything. At that instant, a great explosion and collapse takes place among all the universes. Goku directly into the unknown galaxy alongside Vegeta fighting the bloody angel Shiva begin to observe. Gohan, Broly and Piccolo notice a huge explosion light years away from where they are. At that moment, Gon, who was fighting Kai, also noticed. The universe was practically being erased. At that moment, we can observe a big laugh. Ha 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 ha! I said these gods are extremely weak. None of them can do anything. I didn't want to fight the angel of this universe. After all, it would be too boring, wouldn't it, Zyros? At that moment, Zyros, the angel of Universe 13, starts to laugh and says, looks like you've already wanted to test your powers here, isn't it, Zyko? At that moment, Zyko, the Supreme Saiyan God of Universe 17, is watching everything that happens and says, I said I was going to finish them off one by one, so soon the great battle will begin. No one will be able to defeat me. My power is the greatest. Stay tuned to everything that will happen, Zyros. At that instant, directly in Universe 11, Jiren starts watching and says, it looks like Universe 1 is about to be totally eradicated. How is this possible in such a short time? Who is this being that is showing this power? At that instant, Ziel notices something and says, ha ha ha, this is certainly the work of Zyko, the Supreme Saiyan. Very interesting. So that means that now all that's left is for me to finish all of you here. Mortal, give up soon. This will be the end of you. At that moment, Jiren starts to laugh and says, I've always fought extremely powerful villains, and I was chosen as the savior of this universe was no accident. I always tried to overcome my limits each time, and a certain warrior after all this time taught me that there are no limits to our strength. The image of Goku comes into Jiren's head. Jiren says, I held on to that power for a long time. Now you will meet him. At that moment, Belmont watches and speaks.
Ha ha! You mean he's going to use that power?
What is Jiren hiding? Back to planet Earth. At that moment, Broly, activating the mastery of the Berserker instinct, combining with his Berserker form, lands several blows on Banzerot. Banzerot starts to get more tired and worn out in battle. At that moment, Zaki fights against Gohan with great ease and starts to laugh and says, looks like you're having a hard time fighting this Saiyan. You discredit things too much, don't you, Banzerot? Banzerot responds, be quiet, Zaki. I'm just warming up. At that moment, Piccolo sees that Gohan was having a hard time in the battle. Piccolo hears a voice inside him saying, show your true Namekian power. Show your true skill. Come on. Piccolo wonders, who are you? What's happening? At that moment, Kami-sama's image pops into Piccolo's head. Soon after, a vision of another being appears. This being says, I am the creator of everything, the creator of the super spheres and the Namekian race. Receive some of my power. You, the one who for a long time was the Kami-sama of the land. Piccolo embodied the spirit of the legendary Namekian god. What's going on with Piccolo? What is being shown in the face of all this? The spirit of the strongest being is embodied in Piccolo. What happens and why is Piccolo being shown this way? At that moment, Piccolo saw that Gohan was not able to hold his own in his fight against Zaki. At that instant, Piccolo interferes with the battle. Piccolo says, Gohan, I'll cover for you. Come with me. Follow in my footsteps from the same fight we had against Cell Max, and we'll beat this guy. Strength will never count if you don't have a strategy in battle. Let's defeat this guy together, just like we did with Cell. Piccolo kept hearing voices in his head and trying to understand. Piccolo thinks, what's going on here with me? This doesn't make any sense. Stop talking nonsense. I don't need any power. All my power was released when I asked Shenron to release my latent power, so this cannot possibly happen. Wait,
Could it be that when I made the wish to Shenron, it was only bits of my latent power that were released? Come on, Gohan, let's finish this guy off.
Zaki starts laughing and says, "Does that mean you think it's going to be that easy? Do you think you can defeat me? You make me laugh. A Saiyan and a Namekian. Come on, show me what you're capable of." At that moment, Gohan begins to raise his power alongside Piccolo. The two try to attack Zaki directly. Zaki, with great mastery, begins to dodge all the blows that were being shown. Zaki's Ultra Instinct appeared to be superior even to Goku's. At that moment, Zaki attacks and hits Gohan's belly and continues advancing until he lands a punch in Piccolo's face. Gohan and Piccolo fall to the ground. Gohan says, "This guy seems to be pushing me to the limit. His powers don't even compare to any enemy we've fought. Maybe I have to use the last resort." Gohan begins to remember the training he had with the Great Priest. Flashback of Gohan training alongside Vegeta against the Grand Priest. The High Priest says, "You two are amazing warriors, Sir Gohan and Sir Vegeta. But your energies, unlike Son Goku's, need a lot of fury to get stronger. Maybe it would be interesting for you to combine your powers alongside the calm of your hearts. Your latent power is incredible, Gohan. You should work on that side more." Gohan and Vegeta are training for days in Zeno-sama's palace until the moment a great explosion of energy happens. The High Priest says, "As expected, you really made it." Gohan responds, "Daishinkan, it seems I managed to raise my powers much higher. After this training, I'm sure Vegeta also managed to get much stronger. But still, it looks like something is off. Every time I raise my energy to that stage, my power ends up being completely depleted. After using this attack, it seems that I lose all my energy." At that instant, the High Priest says, "This blow is a two-edged sword. After you use it, you won't be able to fight for about 1 hour. So, if you don't defeat the enemy with this blow, you will definitely be killed in the fight." Gohan begins to reflect. Gohan's powers were being raised more and more. But Gohan says, "Does this mean that this will be my last card? I need to get stronger and stronger so I don't have to use this skill. If I fail to defeat the enemy with this blow, it will be the end of me." Okay, a bit risky. A new type of transformation and my Beast 2 form might make a difference. But I still can't control it 100%. I'm going to need to put together the real strategy for this fight. At that moment, Gohan raises his energy more and more, and Piccolo starts to be fascinated.
Amazing, Gohan. You are showing your true energy.
The moment Piccolo lets his guard down in battle, Zaki attacks him and pierces his belly. Piccolo falls to the ground. Gohan doesn't understand what happened to Piccolo. At that moment, a voice over Piccolo comes up again and says, "Come on, accept my power. My power is your power. Let's show what we're really capable of." At that moment, Piccolo, with his body completely knocked down, says,
"If I accept his power, will we be able to take this guy down?"
At that moment, a great laugh arises. Gohan is in a state of shock watching Piccolo, and he sees that Piccolo's body was changing color to a bluish color and lightning was appearing over his body. The power of the legendary Namekian God surged over Piccolo's body. At that moment, Banzerot, who was fighting Broly, starts to wonder when he sees the difference that had happened with Piccolo and says,
"I didn't know that beings of the Namek race could get so powerful."
Piccolo, with his increasing power, begins to laugh and says,
"Ha ha ha! This power is amazing. Does that mean then, what is it?"
Piccolo begins to remember all the fights he has ever had, and in his mind begins to remember when he fought Goku. Piccolo says,
"It's Goku. When we fought, when we were young, our powers were very similar. I was even consumed by evil wanting to dominate the earth. But time passed, you managed to become much more powerful, and even I increased my powers. I was behind you and all the other Saiyans. It seems like yesterday all this happened. I couldn't do anything against Majin Buu, and even less when the destroyer Beerus appeared on Earth. I knew this needed to change. After all, I am a warrior. I started to realize after the fight against Cell Max that maybe the power I showed wasn't all my strength. It makes me very happy to know that I can increasingly overcome my limits. There are no limits to determination. Now I know that with this power that I have, no one else can stop me.
Piccolo starts laughing insanely. Zaki watches and says, "What is this guy laughing at? Because his eyes and skin have changed? I'm starting to consider these Universe 7 mortals a real problem. They seem to be defeated and soon after they raise their powers to levels that maybe even they wouldn't believe. But it does not matter. Receive my ultimate attack, Dark Aura of the Makaioshin realm." In a few moments, Piccolo appears in front of Zaki and kicks him, causing Zaki to be thrown into the rubble of the earth. Fascinated Gohan says, "Mr. Piccolo managed to regenerate, and now with his new form, he is winning the battle. Mr. Piccolo, you are amazing."
Piccolo, smiling, says, "Haha, let's start, God of Destruction of Universe 14.
Piccolo, the Namekian god who managed to receive the power of the being who claimed to be the legendary Namekian god. What was really happening to Piccolo? Piccolo starts landing several blows on Zaki. Piccolo starts to show a great energy that was being raised over his body. Big blows begin to fall. At that moment, Zaki starts talking. "What happened to this guy? This is a bit strange. He managed to get much stronger, and in a short period of time. In fact, he looked like he was dead just a few minutes ago. It even seems like he's not even the same person he's fighting. How does this guy manage to do this? It's getting interesting." At that moment, Gohan starts watching and says, "Mr. Piccolo is amazing. He's getting to fight this guy, maybe even more than everyone else. Did Master Piccolo have all this power and had he hidden it all this time?" At that moment, Piccolo begins to reflect and remembers the last training he performed in the Room of Time. Reflecting on the powers that were shown, Piccolo has a small flashback in his mind of his planet Namek. Piccolo could see that among the Namekians there were many formidable warriors who used to display their powers in a very high way. Piccolo watches and says,
"The legend of the legendary Namekian warrior. No one would ever be able to defeat this warrior. He would have the necessary power to end any enemy that appeared there. It was said in the past that after a being of the Namekian race reached the maximum limit of his strength, he would be able to break the barriers of overcoming, becoming the new Namekian god. But Piccolo that this power was fleeting. He wouldn't be able to use this skill in a battle for more than 3 minutes. It was said that the true legendary warrior would only need that much time to defeat the enemy."
Back to present times, Piccolo starts to land several blows, putting pressure on Zaki. Banzerot observes and speaks.
"What's happening? Soon you suffering for a warrior like that?"
Zaki observes and speaks. "I don't understand. This guy was practically knocked down. How did he manage to show so much strength?" At that moment, Zaki starts laughing and says, "Haha, that's why he's fighting. He is wanting to end this battle very quickly. It looks like he should have some time for his powers to return to normal in this fight." At that moment, Gohan steps forward to attack Zaki along with Piccolo, but Piccolo says,
"Gohan, stay out of this. See how a real warrior should fight and behave in a battle against the enemy."
Gohan finds his master's words strange. In a few moments, Piccolo teleports and hits Zaki's belly. Zaki is lying on the ground. Piccolo says,
"With that power, I became a practically invincible being. You will never be able to do anything against me."
Just as Piccolo was about to thank Zaki for the final blow, his powers ran out. Piccolo says,
"What? Impossible. The 3 minutes haven't passed. What happened to my god energy?"
Zaki starts laughing and says, "Just in time. As I imagined, you don't have 100% control of this power." At that moment, Zaki changes the shape of his face and creates an ultimate attack. Zaki says, "Haha, Fist of Destruction." Zaki hits Piccolo in the belly. Piccolo lands on the ground with his belly pierced in front of Gohan again. Piccolo looks at Gohan and says,
I'm sorry, Gohan. I failed you.
Piccolo is dead. Gohan speaks.
Do not. It's not possible. It cannot be. You as well? Master Piccolo, stand up please. Use your Namekian regeneration skill. Come on, Mr. Piccolo. Please.
At that moment, Gohan noticed that Piccolo didn't hear his voice anymore. Zaki, smiling, says,
Calm down, son Gohan. Soon I will send you to the same place I sent your master.
Gohan gets mad. Gohan was no longer the same. The whole earth starts to shake. Zaki and Banzerot are watching. Daishinkan Palace. Zakai watches and speaks.
It looks like one of his mighty warriors has already been eliminated. Now it's just a matter of time before they're all killed.
Daishinkan responds,
Oh, that you are wrong, Zakai. The Namek warrior's death will lead to a big bang. This explosion of feeling of sadness and fury will make the Saiyan hybrid awaken his fury.
Zakai, with an impressed face, says,
What? Impossible.
On the other side of Earth, while Gon was fighting Kai, Kai is amazed and says,
What kind of energy is this?
Back to Gohan and Zaki's location. Gohan says,
Now I will have no pity for you, Zaki.
The warrior of prophecy. The warrior who once surpassed all and saved the land. The warrior who had reached the limits of Saiyan level after showing his fury. That kind of Saiyan hybrid who, after increasing his powers more and more, managed to develop his skills even more, and even at a young age. He had the responsibility of deciding the future of the earth in his hands. Overcoming everyone and becoming the last hope of the earth in the absence of his father. He stayed for years fighting different enemies, always protecting his loved ones. As a child, he spent very little time with his father and was raised by a being of another race. A Namekian who was formerly a member of the family of evil and over time changed his personality, becoming another friendly being. That boy who never wanted to fight but was always involved in wars. He always had to raise his power more and more and show his abilities and what he would be able to do in the midst of so many battles. Son Gohan is Son Goku's son, trained throughout his childhood by Piccolo, the one who was once the family of evil. Piccolo Daimoa, who has shown all his wrath in the past. Piccolo's son Daimoa had become the legendary Namekian. His Namekian god power was limitless. However, due to not being able to master the 100% powers of the Namekian god, Piccolo ended up losing his powers in the middle of the battle against Zaki and had his body pierced by the Saiyan hybrid god of destruction of Universe 14. Piccolo was lying on the ground in front of Gohan. Gohan once again sees his mother's death in front of him. Gohan becomes enraged and begins to unleash his fury like he never has before. Gohan says,
It can't be. I couldn't have let that happen. I was so happy seeing Mr. Piccolo's new powers that I didn't end up realizing that his energy was wearing out very fast, and because of that he's...
Zaki starts laughing and says, That will be the end of you, boy. You will go to the same place where this Namekian is going. At that moment, Zaki steps forward and tries to land a punch directly in Gohan's face. At that moment, a huge explosion happens. Gohan takes the punch from Zaki and doesn't feel a thing. Gohan in a few moments hits a punch in the face of Zaki and says,
I will never forgive you. You will pay for everything you did to Mr. Piccolo.
The Grand Priest's Palace. At that moment, the High Priest observes and says,
It seems that you eliminated one of Son Goku's friendly warriors, and with that resulted in Son Gohan's fury. Are you proud of it, Zakai?
Zakai starts to laugh and says,
I don't care. Keep in mind that Zaki and Banzerot powers are extremely limitless. You're talking about the two gods of destruction that caused the great catastrophe in the last celestial war. You think they'll be afraid of a random mortal just because he's mad Daishinkan?
The High Priest with a serious face says,
I already told you once. You disbelieve too much of the powers that the Universe 7 warriors have. Universe 7 and the universes protected by Zeno-sama have formidable warriors. Maybe you haven't understood yet what is the essence and power of trusting those who can show the best performance and fight every day against evil in order to protect their loved ones. At that moment, Hakai makes a serious face and says, "What are you talking about, Daishin-kan?" At that moment, we can see directly into Universe 11. Jiren attains a new power. Jiren had his face completely different. Jiren has a flashback to the past. Jiren remembers when he was a child and had his race eliminated by a villain. At that moment, Jiren says,
"I will never go through a situation like this again. I will get stronger at all costs. In this world, the weak have no place. At least that's how I thought for most of my life. But now, I think differently. If the weak exist, it's because they need protection from the strong, and I will be here to protect everyone this time. In the past, I couldn't show much. In the past, I was defeated, and I couldn't protect them or show all my race. This is a burden I may have to carry forever. I really know what things are going to happen and how everything is going to work out. I always knew everything that happened in the past. But today, I know that I can get more and more powerful, that each time my energy will increase. So I would never give up fighting any enemy. I would never give up on any other being. Now if I fall down here in front of all my friends, who can save them all? Who will be able to resolve this whole situation? I don't have much to say. I just can't be beaten by you, Ziel." At that moment, Jiren advances towards Ziel, and at that moment, Ziel tries to nullify Jiren's powers. Ziel ends up getting punched in his face. At that moment, Jiren starts to speak. "Just as I imagined, the power of the essence of my race you will never be able to nullify. Your ability only nullifies powers of gods and celestial beings. My race is unknown to many, so you don't have information about my race to be able to channel your energy and prevent my blows. It seems that now the game has started to turn in our favor. I'm sorry to tell you, but your end is near, Ziel." Ziel watches and speaks. "But what race is this guy? What's happening? This doesn't make any sense. I should be able to nullify the abilities of practically every race. I learned this technique from the first god of the cold demon race. No one should be able to stop my ability. Even the mother of angels, Hakai, is afraid of my power. How is it possible that this is happening?" At that moment, Jiren starts to land several blows on Ziel. At that moment, Ziel says, "It's not possible. This guy is managing to land these blows on me, and he has the biggest advantage in the battle. If this fight continues like this, I will end. No, that cannot happen. Does your race have any involvement with the cold demons?" Jiren starts laughing and creates a large sphere of energy in his hand and says, "Ziel, now this will be the end of you." Back to Universe 7. Broly had been fighting Banzerot, having the upper hand in the battle. Banzerot had been receiving several blows and says, "It seems that you are totally different from other Saiyans. I thought by sending Goku and Vegeta out of this dimension that there wouldn't be other Saiyans as powerful as them. But apparently I'm mistaken. Haha, I, Banzerot, I hail you the strongest, Broly. Now the time has come for me to start fighting in earnest." At that instant, Broly looks and speaks. "What? Wasn't this guy using all of his strength? You damn you, don't you dare play with me." An enraged Broly advances towards Banzerot amidst the light emanating from the Saiyan God. In a few moments, Gohan, after having raised his power, comes down a punch on Zaki. Gohan says, "You will never understand the meaning of friendship and always wanting to protect your loved ones. You will never understand that." Zaki starts watching and says, "How dare you insult me, Lesser Saiyan? You're mad just because your green father is dead. This is all his own fault, that he was careless in battle. He discovered a new path, and without thinking about the consequences, he ended up spending all his energy. Even worse was you didn't realize that he was at his limit and didn't do anything to protect him. Receive this attack, Aura of Destruction."
a great dark energy is released on Gohan that disappears amidst the darkness. Zaki starts laughing. I said you wouldn't be able to do anything about this. I'm Zaki, the god of destruction from Universe 14. No one is capable of defeating me and Kai. You were a fool to think that a mortal as weak as you could do something. His powers were only a little greater than Son Goku's powers, but in reality, you are just outdated Saiyans who haven't developed their powers to the extreme. At that moment, a great light appears. Gohan's voice again emerges. Zaki says, "It can't be, as you're still alive." Gohan says, "I think you did not understand. I said I won't forgive you and you'll pay for everything you've done." Zaki responds, "You wretch, don't you dare brag about the power you've conquered. Take it." Zaki tries to hit Gohan's face, but at that moment, he is stopped and Gohan easily catches his hand. Zaki says, "Impossible, like you." At that moment, Gohan angrily lands a furious Saiyan punch on Zaki's face. Gohan says, "That's for me and Mr. Piccolo." Zaki is hurled into the rubble of the earth. At that moment, Gohan appears beside Broly and speaks. "You need help, Broly. This guy won't be showing up here anytime soon." Banzerot observes and says, "Damn you, what did you do with Zaki?" To be continued. Gohan defeated Zaki with just one blow? What's going on in the face of all of this? Where are Goku and Vegeta? Regardless of what it is, it's more than important that you share your thoughts in the comments below so we can get into a crazy debate. Whack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. That's all there is to it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
This is so much fun.